Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about how to unlock this guy, Jedi Knight Luke. So I just unlocked him on my new account, small account, GoTex account, whatever you want to call it. Several characters you need all at Relic 3. You got Wampa, Commander Luke Skywalker, Chewbacca, C-3PO, Rolo, Cholo. You need 7-star Millennium Falcon, R3 Hermit Yoda, and R3 Lando Calrissian. So some of these levels are pretty easy and aren't going to require you to put too much effort into or switch around your mods, but some will, and those will probably take a lot longer. This first one is one of the easier ones. So my Wampa is only Relic 3. I have 1 Zeta on him. I have Cornered Beast just to get to the Omicron is why I did it, but it gives him extra counter chance and some extra offense, so it does help. I would not say it's necessary, and mine is modded for offense, not a lot of speed, crit damage. I do think it's advisable, and what I don't have that would help, just some offense, but it's not too difficult, and this one is kind of a gimme. I mean, you kind of spam specials a little bit once he gains some offense. So once actually Commander Luke goes into call to action, that's probably the best thing that can happen to you, because now we are critting. He doesn't have all his crit avoidance, and we do a lot more damage. So see, I was doing like 77,000, now 30,000 when he's out of his stance. So that buff, given his unique, it actually kind of hurts him. Okay, now he's back in it again, more vulnerable, 83,000, because he doesn't have crit avoidance. So I'm able to crit, take advantage of all my crit damage, and yeah, even if he didn't stay in it, like you have enough protection up with Wampa. If you have some decent health, you're gonna outlast anyway. 97,000. So every time you do the howl, you're increasing your damage output. So I thought that was gonna be it, but almost. He gets crit chance too, so eventually you're not too worried about whether he's in call to action or not. 100,000, and that should do it. This should do it. Okay, victory. So yeah, that one is one of the easier tiers. The second tier also was pretty easy for me when I did it, but also I have my Commander Luke Skywalker to Relic 7 because of the Leia event. I unlocked Leia before Jedi Knight Luke, so unfortunately I definitely have overkill here. I also have all Zetas, and I don't know which ones are necessary or not. You might not need any of them, you might need all of them, but this one gives turn meter. Basically the learn control is a lot of what I talked about: extra tenacity, crit avoidance when he doesn't have call to action, and then just some extra turn meter gain on his leadership. The way I have my Luke modded, plus 108 speed. I don't have crit damage because in general this is my normal modding. I did not remod Commander Luke or Wampa. My normal modding is offense focus, so 3PO and Chewie can spread it out, and that's what I have here, close to 10,000, which is a lot. And you'll see how it is one way or another. I think staying out of call to action, if you our lower relic, might be the better idea because you're going to get more survivability, but if I'm not too worried about it, I might stay in call to action a little bit longer. However, he's hurting, so anytime you're hurting, definitely save the call to action move just as a heal. But if you over relic, I mean, obviously it's a lot easier. Not too hard with Relic 7, Relic 3. I wouldn't worry too much. I wouldn't bump him up in Relics. I would just try it a bunch of times. Maybe remod, but just use that special as a heal, and eventually you'll probably get there without too much of a headache. Tier 3 is when it starts to get a little bit more tricky, but you can do it without amazing mods or anything. So, for example, this is the current mods loadouts I have on Rolo and Cholo. They're not priorities. It's just not too many stats to go around. Chewbacca I mod just in general like a tank with a lot of protection for the CLS team because he's always the first target they need to go through anyway. Not really modded for damage. C-3PO, a little bit of speed and potency. I'm probably going to leave that as is. And Captain Han Solo, it has no priority at all. He also just 80 speed, not too many stats significantly. No Omegas on Captain Han Solo but Rolo, I do have the Omega on Rebel Barrage, and the basic just for some extra damage. I do recommend those. They're probably pretty good. Chewbacca, I have all the Omegas, and the Loyal Friend, Zeta, just because they're good, and I do recommend those. These two are Relic 3, the minimum, but Rolo and Cholo, the abbreviation for Captain Han Solo, they are at the relic levels needed for Leia Organa, who is, so they're Relic 5, so a little bit higher. In general, that does help. For the later tier, that might be even more necessary, but it's gonna get harder later in the later tiers. So if you are going to be remodding or doing the whole event at once, it might make sense to just remod at least Rolo for this one. So that's what I'm gonna do for this video, to just make sure it doesn't take forever. See, this is the stat increase I'm giving her. I put most of Captain Rex's mods on with a crit damage triangle from my Anakin. So just using your best mods is a good policy. I don't get too much more offense, but there's a lot more speed and crit damage, which really helps, because Rolo is going to be one of your main damage dealers in this one. But Chewbacca is going to be also probably the biggest damage dealer, just from his bonus damage. And we see Captain Han Solo has guard. I'm going to save this special because I want to wait till more people have translation. So I can throw everyone in. So now Chewbacca has it. Basics are mainly what makes sense for Captain Han Solo, because he's not doing damage. So see, now Chewbacca and Rolo have translation. So I'll just give it to Captain Han through the targeting. And there we go. Basics, fine, basics, fine there. And this one, you're just taking them all out one at a time. Rolo has a little bit of health steal, so she can recover a bit. In general, it's a good idea to spam the specials on Chewbacca. Especially the AoE, to do damage to everyone while you are focus firing one of these guys at a time. This wave isn't the challenge. The more challenging one is definitely the second wave once you get through. Go ahead and do that. And neither of them, neither Rolo or Captain Han Solo have translation, but I'll just give it all Rolo, because Captain Han Solo doesn't do too much damage anyway. He's got his heal, and I kind of save that for when it's needed. Going into the second wave, it is a good idea to try and save your specials, so here I'm going to hold off using that, but I do want Chewbacca a little bit healed up. So I think I'm in a good position going into this wave. Chewbacca's got full turn meter, Rolo has a good bit, and then C-3PO, which are in order the ones you care about taking turns. Darth Vader back here, once it reaches zero, so like 20 total turns among everybody, he's going to start taking turns, and he does a lot. He hurts. He hurts bad. I think I'm going to go ahead and pull the special just to get translation on him. And they dispelled it, so that was all kind of for naught. My primary target, I like to get Veers. I don't know if you have to or not. But any basics, because of C-3PO, are doing exposed, so it is better to get everyone assisting if possible. And the quicker you can just get any kill over here, the fewer turns are being taken up. But see, like, that's unfortunate. I don't know if I'll like get through this playthrough. Yeah, he's got 2 turns before he starts getting in here, so he's probably gonna kill Rolo, because he usually opens with Merciless Massacre. But I might get through it. Yikes. Okay, that was actually pretty merciful. He didn't even attack everybody. I think we can still do it with just these guys. Yeah. Alright, so we got it. And the good thing is it doesn't have to be clean. You don't need to 3-star or anything. So that was like my first attempts after doing just the remods. So I'm gonna leave those mods on Rolo and move on. This one, I wouldn't say put any panic Zetas on or panic relics or anything. Just give it a few tries. It's challenging, but you'll get there. Next, we got the Millennium Falcon tier. And this one was confusing to me at first because there's roughly 5 years in between when I unlocked Luke on my main account and now on the small account. And it's confusing because you win after once the Millennium Falcon is the last ship on the field, but if anyone dies, you're toast. So technically the only requirements are you need any capital ship at 7 stars, you need Millennium Falcon at 7 stars, and Wedge at 7 stars. I did upgrade my Wedge a little bit to gear 8 with a few pieces. This is not an Omega. I just gave him his level 7 abilities, and I put level 15 5-dot mods on him, just to give a bare modicum of survivability to have 48,000 health, not a lot, 11,000 protection. He's pretty flimsy, he's pretty weak. And my Millennium Falcon, though, unfortunately, it's pretty strong. For the purpose of this video, it's unfortunate that it's very strong because I'm not able to show you the minimum. I have Han relic for Jabba, and then also C-3PO there, and they have they have. Oh, Chewbacca doesn't have 6-star mods. Han Solo has mostly 6-star mods. So I have a pretty tanky Millennium Falcon. But Millennium Falcon is not the bottleneck anyway. It's not the one you're worried about dying. You're worried about Wedge dying and the Rebel Y-Wing dying. So let's do some runs here. Some important things are to try and do. Or to kill the bomber as soon as you can, because its AoE burning is painful. I think starting out with your own AoE on Falcon is good. It gives you arm penetration up, extra damage. I think the best case scenario is they do a basic. They do a basic, but it doesn't always happen, obviously. And most of the time, bomber is able to get off that burning. In rare occasions, I have been able to kill it before it gets the burning, because what the burning does, it's an AoE that hits your fragile Wedge, and it dispels your taunt. So you really want to keep that taunt up. AoE dodge, that might just be a restart, but I'm gonna play it out to see. That was a basic. If they didn't resist it, if that protection disruption landed, we would have been no worse for wear from that dodge, but since it didn't land, that was also a double negative. That's bad. Really just trying to kill that bomber before he gets to do anything. And also, the only time you really want to attack Vader, since you're not going to kill him, is if there's foresight on the TIE fighter. And I do that also, even though I don't care about Falcon getting hits, just to cycle through turns to get closer to that escape. But again, Wedge died. It gets old. It gets really old. But I don't think it's worth taking your Wedge to relics from year 12 or year 11. You can do it with year 8, level 77. Protection disruption, very nice. And we got an assist. There we go. That's what we're waiting for. Getting an assist. I don't need to do the wiggle. I just want to try and kill this TIE fighter. And this is excellent. This is a great start. This might be the one where I get it. I don't want to counterattack, so I'm just going to attack Vader. Again, we don't have to kill them. We don't have to get through all of them. Killing the enemies. Oh, and also you don't want dodges, so that's another thing that can happen. And that might have just not been worth it to even try to attack it. Killing them is just a means to take less damage. So Wedge is the first one we want to escape, and that's coming up. We got our taunt, feeling good. They're all single target attackers. There we go. Wedge is out. Clear for now. But hopefully Y-Wing gets a turn and gets to get out of dodge. They're out of dodge. My Millennium Falcon is tanky, so this is where it's helps a good one. And that is really heartbreaking. I did not think that was how that was going to end. Okay. So don't attack the TIE fighters if you can help it at all. Because that was extra turn meter. If I didn't I didn't give that extra turn meter that one time by unnecessarily attacking the TIE fighter, I would have been out clean. I'm gonna restart. Maybe I could win with the burning. Still unlikely. Yeah. So the lesson here is you might save yourself some time by restarting if you don't kill the bomber before he does burning. Alright, keep going. Give me an assist, Falcon. Yes, there we go. Alright, another good setup. Again, don't attack because they got foresight. We're not going to hit them. We're just going to give 50% turn meter to the enemy capital ship. They only have single target damagers, so we can just let them hit our tank. We're almost there to escape. Okay, we're getting a little bit of protection back. I'm gonna leave it here. I really think you need Wedge to go out first. So, gone. Attack my Falcon, just go ahead. And it sucks, the Falcon is so much faster. Do this, get some evasion, because they're gonna have to hit it soon once the Y-Wing gets out. Alright, get out of here. Don't do your ult, don't do your... That is annoying. That is annoying. But I think you can see it's possible. We're gonna get there. We will get there. There is a brighter day on the horizon. I believe it. I believe that these 6 minutes of attempts will not go on forever. Alright, restart. I don't know why they force you to select the ships. They're just the same 3 ships. Forfeit. Could I just keep going without recording until I get a win and then show you? Yes, but these are quick turnarounds. I want to show you the headache you're in for with this. If you don't want to upgrade Wedge at all, you're going for JML. You need to upgrade him anyway. It's a big help. But with this, it's we're really trying to min-max it. No assist from the burning, no nothing because we got burning. It's not worth it. You just forfeit whenever their TIE bomber doesn't die. Assist, you jerk! Assist. Millennium Falcon is one of the single worst RNG fests in the game. The reason I always want to start with AoE, we get our defense penetration up, so it really helps. Oh, there we go. So they're down. Risk it. Okay, good. That was risky, but I got it. So now there are less attacks happening on us overall. Go ahead and do this. Cycle through some attacks. Y-Wing can handle it. So, if I had Wedge like coming right up after that, I would do it with Y-Wing. But here, Wedge really needs to go first. Alright, you're out. Come on, Y-Wing, get in here, do your turn. Alright, Millennium Falcon, there we go, got it. Got it, bare minimum Wedge. The more Han and Chewie, the better. Like, obviously, they are way better characters than Wedge and Tilly's. Yeah, it's a headache. It can take a while. This next tier, tier 5, is one of the easier ones where I don't think you really need to worry about remodding or doing anything crazy. Again, I have a Relic 7 CLS with all the Zetas. Which ones are necessary or not? I think probably the best one to have for this is probably Learning Control, just for extra survivability. But yeah, we're going to be all weird and zoomed in here in this little tunnel. Probably, I guess, Snowtroopers, the primary target you want to get to. I think the obvious move is to give Masters Training ASAP. And I don't want to waste time attacking the tank, so I get call to action on there. And it's Snowtrooper because they're an attacker. Let's keep them in their stun chains a little bit longer. By removing turn meter. I can't heal his protection with his special, so since he's not a Jedi, so I'm not going to be doing that. I will reapply to stealth him maybe and get a assist. There's a little bit of health I can get there, so let's get rid of that taunt and so we can start going up, because I want to go into the next wave with as much health and protection as I can. Which is not too much, but you do this second tier without Hermit Yoda. I'm going to stay out of call to action for now. And just cycle through to heal up. The dots do come back. I'm not sure if they keep coming back ad infinitum. Yeah, they don't come back forever. Yeah, I mean, again, I have Relic 7. This was a lot easier because I have good mods. I think that one's worth repeating. If you have just a Relic 3 CLS, it's worth doing a bunch of times to try to get done, just like I did with the Wedge, but it is an easier tier. Of these remaining tiers, the hard ones, this is the hardest one. So for the modding on this one, I definitely recommend remodding. I did not do it with, I did not get a Zeta on Rolo or anything. Even C-3PO don't have one. I left the same modding on Rolo as before. Lando, I did give him some speed sets really fast with crit damage. Plus 152 speed is not slow at all. The crit damage is a big thing because they do crit a lot and you really want that. Chewbacca also speed with crit damage. I think the things that'll help you are speed, take more turns. Offense and crit damage, just really good. And then health to survive. So those three things in combinations are going to be good for you. Lando is honestly the biggest damage dealer. It seemed to be in my experience. So it might be worth doing an offense set on him. But yeah, kind of spam. I think it's mainly spam specials. As you can see, this is 3PO and Chewie. We now have him in the game as his own unit. I think at the time of this event he wasn't. So Chewbacca and C-3PO are combined for this event. I was told that only the mods on Chewbacca matter, so that's the only one I changed. But we'll see if this is just undoable like this. I think starting with the blind move, it's not the same as the real 3PO and Chewie in the game. It doesn't dispel, but it does do blind. AoE, I'm gonna try spamming it there, but it does help to wait until You have some people dead. And you can see they land a lot of exposes on us. So the speed to get to our turns and kind of shrug them off is important. Okay, now we got someone dead and another one fixing to die. Okay, he died. That's a restart. And hopefully this event doesn't take forever and ever. Or this tier. But I want to show you the reality. I mean, potency also on Chewbacca could help. So there's 2 blinds. The more blinds, obviously, the better. See, that could have exposed him. Instead, it did not. If we can, I want to kill the Imperial officer first. We can't always choose that. And a lot of it's kind of an RNG fest. You're just hoping you don't gun down one character too much. Alright, I get 2. No, didn't get even 1. That's unfortunate. What? Dodge. Okay, there we go. We're going into the second wave good. We have all our specials off cooldown. Boba Fett's the biggest threat, but you can't really. He's got 2 lives, so I target the Imp Officer. Blind on Boba Fett. It's obviously huge. And going in with this wave, we have extra hits with that. I really need Lando to. Oh, he heals. He does have some good health steal. 3PO and Chewie doesn't seem to have really any health steal, unfortunately. But Lando can heal himself up. That was lucky.
We're certainly lucky that you are not.
So not necessarily screwed here. Yep, there we go. Okay, I think we got it. Yep, come on. Yep, got it. Okay. So that was great. When I actually unlocked him on the account, I mean, this was the second try with that modding. When I actually unlocked him, I had just roll a left and I did remod C-3PO. So I would say you don't really have to worry about remodding C-3PO. Just leave the mods on him that you normally do. Now the last 2 tiers with the father and son. And for the CLS tier, Zetas, I don't know if any of them are necessary. All of them are helpful. I think each provides incremental benefit. The challenge is in the second wave. If Vader gets dots on you early, you're gonna be hurting a lot more. If you can avoid dots for a while, that's great. Or get lucky, that's great too. I think going into the second wave with call to action up is good. But here I save it as a heal and also to have more tenacity since I do have that Zeta. Alright, let's go. And counterattack does it, so I'm at like close to full protection and full health. He throws these things. You want to kill a couple of them, at least to try and just make it easier on you. But each one that hits is going to be whatever damage that was, 21,000 or something. I maybe should have been out of call to action there to avoid some dots. But spam the first special just because it's more damage. Spam the heal. Okay, so I got 21,000 damage again from the 1. And I'm more suited to resist dots now, but I already got a couple on me. More damage, let's do it, come on, take him down. And I am Relic 7, so this does make it a lot easier. There's finishing blow. Alright. Relic 3, probably going to be pretty challenging for this. But Commander Luke, not a bad investment. Tenacity mods might be a help. Offense mods, more survivability. I just have him modded as I showed for an earlier tier. I just have him modded with offense and some tenacity. Not a ton of tenacity, but plus 38%. Like if you want to go full tenacity, that might be a good strategy. I would just tinker around with the mods a little bit before adding extra relics that you don't want to give. But again, extra relics on Commander Luke up to Relic 7, never going to be a regretful investment. Now this last tier could be the easiest or the hardest tier depending on your approach. I do think Zetas, the first two Zetas are very, very helpful. Merciless Massacre is very helpful to cycle through. It's like a cooldown decrease in extra damage. Well, the damage doesn't actually matter. You're not trying to do a ton of damage. However, I did leave my Vader mod as I normally do. He's got a speed set. He does have crit damage triangle. I'm not replacing it with health and protection, although that would help. But I'm just trying to show you how you can get it done as is. I do not have the lead Zeta. The lead Zeta makes it very easy because this is all about leaving dots on CLS and letting him dispel them. The more often that happens, the better. So disarm. I guess he doesn't have Merciless Massacre. So really just the Zeta. Well, I guess they transform. I don't understand how these transfer. But I like having the Zeta that prevents turn meter reduction on him. I do not have the lead Zeta though. The trick, just like call to action was important when we're using Luke, it's important here. We want Luke to be in call to action. I'm not going to use this now because he has increased tenacity. I'm actually going to chuck this to hope he goes into call to action. He didn't, so that's unfortunate. Let me restart. Like, you want him to go to call to action and then do your AoE to get some dots on him. So maybe let me start here. So when he's not in call to action, I actually chuck the sword to dispel ability block. But if you're too fast, you get stuck in this loop where I think you want, like, if you're trying to do it without the lead Zeta on Vader, and I think it's worth avoiding that, you want him to get into his stance. Is he resistant? Okay, he does get into it first at some point. But I wasted my AoE there. So we're going to start with chucking it so we're not cramping his abilities. And we really just want him to start with call to action. This might take a couple times. That's not what we need you to do, Lukey Dukes. Gosh, too slow. I mean, every turn's a turn. I'm trying to prove a point here. You are a gargantuan tool, Luke. There it is, but it's probably too late because I am dying. Yeah, that was too late, man. Get it. Get your call to action on early. Chuck it, give him a chance. Ah, you jerk. Don't do that move. Do call to action. Because then we can leave him in call to action, and then we're happy about ability blocking him. Right now, I am not happy to ability block him. I want him to use his abilities, but I only want him to use the ability I want him to use. Not that one. Not that one, man. Just, come on, be a bro. Just do it. Maybe I just waste the first AoE. Okay. I think I might lap him. Yep, okay, chuck it. He has his abilities. Yes, there's in call to action. Got him in it early. That might be the approach. And now the ability block is my friend and not my enemy. See, you get it to decrease from expiring. So now I just keep my basic. It's an irresistible ability block. He can't get out of call to action. Got that. Okay, now he's out. But maybe I bought enough time. So he doesn't have call to action off cooldown, so I'm going to leave that ability block on him just so he can't do his bigger move. Okay, I went for it and he dispelled. There we go. So, no lead Zeta. You don't need it. I will hop on over to my main account and show you what it is like with the lead Zeta. Oh, I'm your father. Okay, well, we got it. Yeah, so let me hop on over to the main account and just show how easy that gets. And here we are. I also have Relic 8 Vader, so that helps. He's even tankier. Not too much. He's actually slower than on my alt account because I'm not running a speed set. Still got the crit damage. You know, the potency really helps. I don't think I had as high a potency on my alt account. But yeah, we're not like if we land any, that's a win because they keep going back. So yeah, it came back and he'll dispel it on his own at some point. I think the same thing still helps to dispel your. Yep, there. Call to action, so that should be. See, it's already a 9, 5. If he dispels himself, the next time I chuck it, there we're ready there. So it's really easy when you have the lead Zeta, but I'm not a fan of this Zeta because I always use him under Palpatine. But then I guess if you have Star Killer, it might be worth it. On my main account, Darth Vader sometimes goes under Lord Vader, but a lot of times he's just kind of homeless and doesn't have a purpose in the Super End game. But yeah, there we go. That's how you unlock Jedi Knight Luke. Hope you enjoyed. Hope this helped. I know I showed a lot of the. I showed all the misplay, like the retries, and that just demonstrates which tiers are difficult. I think it is the ships tier, and it is this Rolo Lando tier with Chupio. But best of luck if you're trying to unlock Jedi Knight Luke. Just if you're having trouble, keep at it. All right, thanks for watching. See you later.